I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs. Today, a regal recipe as we serve up hot honey chicken on a throne with a wonderful watermelon sushi rice salad. This is the show where we take great ideas for dinner and turn them into Dinner DeeAs. In the kitchen with us today, my friend Chef Lee Aquino from Birchwood Family of Brands. This is a make-ahead dinner, it sounds like, but this is something anyone can do, right?
Absolutely, Chef. This is near and dear to my heart. It's a one-pot type of a night, and it's so delicious. First of all, we're going to create this brine ahead of time. So we need to have it hot in order for all the ingredients to mix. So what we're going to do is take our lid off, being very careful. We have some granulated white sugar. We're gonna add that right to it, and that's gonna combine very nicely there.
And that's just water in there, just as a starting point, just boiling water.
Yes, Chef.
And then we got granulated sugar, okay?
After that, we're gonna let that take a little turn. A lot of people at home have like a version of something they would like to call Old Bay or Lowry's or something like that. I always like to use one in particular, as we can see. So I'm just gonna add my recipe for this right here to kind of get the water changing color.
Now, why do you like using that one in particular? What is it about it that stands out to you?
It just has all the right spices for me. It could be poultry, it could be seafood.
But I'm seeing pickles here.
Yeah. So more importantly, I'm just after the vinegar, not the actual cucumber pickle in here.
Okay.
And it's like the rainy day find in the back of the fridge. It's really nice.
You pull it out and you're like, I'm just gonna get like an idea here and just go with it.
Exactly.
I dig it.
So I'm just gonna add a little bit in there to get that going.
You know, and what's kind of cool too is like, I'm thinking about it, like you're gonna have like hints of garlic in there. You're gonna have some fresh herbs that are gonna be a part of that whole pickling brine that was inside the pickles that's now going to be part of this brine for this chicken. So
yeah.
I see why we're going that direction. I dig
the aromatics of this right now, whoever's in your household is not gonna be mad about how this smells right now.
They're getting excited for it there. This is a treat. This is a majestic treat. All right, so what's next then?
Okay, while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and I'll turn this off and let it cool down.
Okay.
We're gonna move right over here, and you can prep this ahead of time. As we're gonna be prepping the brine will have to cool down to a certain temperature that we'll have to allow our chicken to place into it.
Okay, because you don't want to cook the chicken inside any of that.
Exactly.
So you brought it up already to a boiling point of 212. Dropping it down is significant.
Right, I like to use, space out my freezer real quick. I don't want to kill everything in my freezer, but I like to put it in a shallow pan as much as possible.
Okay.
Throw it in the freezer, get the process going. You can use ice, but definitely wait until that temperature goes down to the same kind of temperature of your chicken as well.
Okay.
So you don't want to do hot or cold, just blend it in nicely
Play it off
with
of what would be a room temperature then.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, I mean, this could be done ahead of time as well. So what we're going to do is create this dish, and it's going to be a one type of pot deal.
Right on.
So this is fun. You can do this ahead of time. Right now I have these beautiful little potatoes here. These are little fingerling, definitely a different little type of medley of them, which is really nice and beautiful. Different starches. I don't refrigerate my potatoes because when I go shopping, they are not refrigerated.
Okay.
And
so
that helps.
So that's the kind of like a rule of thumb for you then. If it's going to be something dry, keep it in dry. If it's going to be something that was coming from a refrigerator, do it that way.
Yeah, that just helps with the sugars and the starches, actually. You know, unless they're growing some eyes there, then you need to use them, then I understand.
Totally.
But, you know, we're not making ferments or anything like that. We're just using a good old product, okay?
All right.
So those are the fingerling potatoes there. What I have here is a bulb of fennel, or half a bulb of fennel right here. So a lot of people might not be used to fennel, but I enjoy it. I like a licoricey type of difference to it, and it's so fragrant. I mean, it's just right there.
It's one of my favorites to cook with, too.
It is, yeah. It's different, and it just adds the right amount of aromatics to a situation. And it'll blend nice. Salads.
And like it's a surprise too, because someone might go into it and be like, oh, hey, I thought that was going to be an onion.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, oh no, there's so much more flavor behind it. And there's a bite behind it that just changes the dimension.
And every once in a while in the chef world, you have like these little hairs, these green hairs. Those are great for little touches on certain items that are just nice touches there. So
Lee, I get this vibe that like you save everything for these moments to be like, all right, hey, I've got to be like a mad scientist and bringing everything out to do something special.
Yeah, if you talk to a couple of my chefs at a couple of the locations, they understand that I will save a lot, and then I'll make them do maybe some molecular gastronomy with it and make like little caviar pearls out of maraschino maraschino jars. My pastry team hates me for that one, but it's okay.
You're challenging them though, man. You're challenging them at every step of the way. What else goes into our Dutch, our cast iron pan here?
Absolutely. What we have here is a little bit of a leek. So it's just going to be of the onion family. That's going to give us a nice little onion touch right here.
So then you have that piece coming right back into it then. So where you would have that, where we were talking an onion to go into it there, we now have a nice leek to be there.
So yeah, leeks work. If you have a red onion, you have a yellow onion, that's fine. That's okay to use. It's just the delicacy of this and how it's going to blend is really going to be nice. So that's why I chose the leek for this one here.
I love it. And we're not going to cook anything inside our pan either.
No, this is a cold pan, by the way. Sorry, yeah, my bad. It's a cold pan next to something that's cooling down right there. What we have next are a couple of cherry tomatoes. Little tricolored heirlooms, which are not too bad at all. These are great for all types of things, salads or the natural sugars that pop out of there when they're nice and roasted. Why not?
Totally, absolutely. And from a presentation standpoint, you're able to bring that nice little bit of vibrancy inside what's going to be how you're going to see it come out at the end too.
I need to add some acid. This adds like the necessary acid to this dish. It really does.
Now, is there just going to be a subtle bite there to it as well then?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, this is just going to blend really nice. And give it that pH that it needs with everything else that's being incorporated into it. And then lastly, I have this beautiful elephant garlic right here.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So those are easier for me to manipulate rather than the smaller garlics.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, these just look so huge. So where can, like, someone at home find this?
Definitely in the garlic section, but dry, not refrigerated. And if you find the elephant garlic, it has cool processes. It's easier to handle. It fries up very nicely. If you want to be like the Goodfellas Godfather and you just shave it real thin.
Do we need to just get
shave real thin, that's fine too. So you can get different applications out of this, which is really nice. For me, I'm just going to take it and slap it a little bit so it doesn't fly anywhere, and then break it up. And that really just gets the flavor going there. Just pushing it, getting it going, which is nice.
It's just a nice little smush on that one, because if you want today's recipe for this hot honey chicken, scan the QR code up on your screen that takes you to dinnerdeas.com, where we also have a recipe for our watermelon poke salad, which is coming up later. Okay, so we've got some of our vegetables in. What else do we got to put into this now?
I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
That's okay.
Now, this doesn't look like black pepper, though.
No, this is not. This is not traditional.
Okay.
So this is a spice that we make at one of the restaurants.
Okay.
It has activated charcoal, a bunch of onion powder, garlic powder, and we call it char spice.
Char spice.
Actually, if you go to the Birch and Vine restaurant and you get a Delmonico, I suggest getting the char spice on there.
A char spice on there. So what's going on inside this char spice then?
You have this activated charcoal or what have you. It's a little bit of pepper, but you'll see it'll dye my fingers if I'm not careful here. So you kind of have to be careful of what you're touching here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of here. So I'm going to actually just call this my barbecue spice in the recipe. So when I'm referring to the char spice, and in the recipe it is barbecue char spice, if you will.
Okay.
That'll work good. So we're just gonna leave that. And like I said, this could be prepped a day ahead of time while this is still cooling down. And later we'll end up bringing the chicken plus this pan together and merge it together and fire it off at the same time. So.
And what about hot honey? I'm seeing hot sauce, I'm seeing honey. I mean, this is like a staple at the Philbin household. My wife absolutely loves hot honey. So what are we doing with yours? How are we doing this?
Okay, so the hot honey. These are usually ingredients that you might have in your fridge at home. Like again, I like to go to the farmer's market and support local. So I'm gonna have a couple different varietals of honey, whether they're from one part of the county or the other part of the county. It's good for your allergens. I have allergies, and if I just take a spoon of honey, that helps me out so much. Rather than taking all my Claritin and stuff like that, I just take the honey of the area and then switch it up whenever that doesn't work. So the local honey and then certain ingredients in your fridge, you'll be able to whisk something up really nice. And what we're gonna do is kind of concoct this here. These are beautiful lemons.
All right.
Really nice. I like to usually not waste, obviously. So I would zest this, whether I was going to use this in the zest or not.
Okay.
And you can dehydrate or just leave that zest out, and you can use that for something else later.
All right, I dig it. I dig it.
I'm just going to prep these lemons real quick.
Okay.
And just get them on this board. These are nice ones. I like that. Good score there, for sure. All right, I have my little bowl right here. I'm gonna pull this.
All right.
All right. Start out with a Gouldens, a brown mustard is usually what I like to. It's
Now,
got
you don't want to use a Dijon. You don't want to use yellow. You want to go brown mustard to start
brown
this
mustard.
up. Okay.
I don't know what that is. It's traditional for me. In Cleveland, I was born in Cleveland. They have their own mustard over there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I usually have that in my fridge. But if you're not a fan, I get it. So not a lot of people
Go with
are.
accessibility then.
Go with your
what you got,
accessibility, yeah.
and then like play with that
Near and
part.
dear to you. I don't want to offend any of the fans out there. You know
All
what
right,
I mean?
all right.
The local honey, which would be amazing right here. So just a little bit in there, and then. So you just want to kind of drizzle them all together. So right now we just have like a honey mustard, basically. But we're about to take this honey mustard to the next level.
To the next top. All right,
Yes.
there. Okay.
And then whatever kind of hot sauce you have, it's usually going to be like a vinegar base.
Okay.
What have you. I like a little bit more viscosity towards mine.
Okay, so a little bit lighter then, so that way it has that movement.
Yep.
So that way then it just kind of plays in. How much are we going to put into this? Because this is where it's like you can customize it to what your liking is, right?
Exactly. So at this point here, it's a good idea just to go ahead and give it a whisk.
Okay.
And just get this honey mustard, so to speak. A nice homogeneous little blend right there. And then this is where it's the point of no return, okay? So you can dose it a little bit and then start somewhere.
So this is where you just go cannonball, just go straight in for it.
Not where you want to
Just
go
like-
for it. No.
All right.
I'm just going to do a little bit, and then as I'm adding, this is a vinegar-based, obviously, hot sauce. So the pH is going to be a little bit up. So now I'm messing with the pH on the other end here with fresh citrus. So that's important in my world of chefdom, if you will. It's kind of like balancing both sides of the palate or the pH or whatever. So it actually blends nice. So I'm not making you sweat while you're eating this dish. I mean, I know a lot of people like that. A lot of people do like that, but I like to taste the food.
I dig it.
Okay.
I dig it.
So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this lemon juice right here.
Go right ahead and add that lemon juice because when we come back, our brine chicken's gonna take a place of pride right atop its throne. And trust me, it sounds way fancier than it really is, but we're gonna show you how right ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, ideas for dinner that we'll show you how to make. With us today, Chef Lee Aquino from the Birchwood on St. Pete's Beach Drive and their family of brands is here with us. He's bringing hot honey chicken on a throne. Before the break, we repurposed leftover pickle juice for a brine, which the chicken spent all night just swimming in. And now it's time to get out of the pool.
All right, time to unveil it, right?
All right.
So overnight, we have brined the chicken. It's nice and cool. You have a nice little opaque color to it. What I'm gonna do next is just kind of transfer it over to kind of pat dry it real quick.
Okay.
So-
How important is it to make sure that you do pat dry and get it nice and dry in this stage?
What I'm gonna do next is gonna kind of have to dictate that. So I kind of want it dry so I can see how, when we brine things, it's gonna take out a lot of the unnecessary impurities, the bloods and stuff like that.
Sure.
So you want it nice and opaque, and then my next steps are actually gonna help with that as well. So we've kind of just patted it dry, no big deal there. And then we're gonna move on to the next one here.
Right on. All right, so what happens next?
All right, we have our stick of unsalted butter.
Okay.
So, even at Thanksgiving, I do this. I have the turkey, and I like to use a little tempered butter. And you want to get in between the skin and the meat. So nice in there, and you just want to kind of create those pockets.
Now, is it hard to get underneath the skin for those that might not have tried this before?
It's a little bit difficult at first, but you'll find the opening at the rear end of the chicken.
Okay.
And what you want to do is just kind of use your hands and kind of get in between the layers there.
Perfect shot for our Chef Jeff camp because I've got this fancy toy that I get to play with all the time. And so, I just want to kind of show you here what we're looking for. So what you just did there, you took a little bit and you kind of spread it in there.
Yeah.
With being delicate to the skin, it looks like.
Absolutely. You want to not bruise this whatsoever.
Okay.
We've taken the time, 24 hours in the brine already. I don't want to beat this sucker up yet. I just want it nice and dispersed. I'm pushing the butter into the flesh and into the skin as well, so it'll melt appropriately.
Nice. Okay.
So we're gonna keep doing that throughout the rest of the chicken, and once this is accomplished, we're gonna move on to the next step. So even on the back side, you'd want to flip it over, do the same thing.
Sure.
So once this is accomplished, we're gonna just go ahead and add our salt and pepper.
Right on.
I season from the sky.
Okay.
I never like seasoning from here because that's gonna taste like salt. I need it just to be seasoned.
So I did a dinner one time with a family, and I asked the little guy, he was 7 years old at the time. I was like, hey, why do you think I'm going so high? And he was just like, well, you want it to be dispersed so it doesn't go concentrate. I'm like, yes, for 7 years old, all right, buddy.
Yes, for some of my cooks, I wish I could have taught them at that age
so
too.
you're watching this at home right now, man, like you're doing this same thing.
Very good. Now we have the barbecue spice, the char spice. I'm gonna hit that. Just nice and even. And you see if I concentrate it, it's gonna go darker.
See,
I don't
exactly.
need that. I need to go nice and evenly all over on both sides of the bird. So what I'm gonna do
Super important.
is just flip this guy over real quick.
Okay.
And we're just gonna hit it real quick with a nice coat of salt and this barbecue spice.
I love it. Because for the full hot honey chicken recipe, scan the QR code in the corner of your screen. It's going to take you straight to our website where you can find all the recipes from this show. That's dinnerdeas.com. So we got both sides of this bird really well seasoned.
It's a beautiful thing.
I think it's ready to be on its throne, though.
I think so as well.
Okay.
So sometimes, you know, maybe there's a beer or two in the fridge, okay?
Okay.
So that's the whole idea of being on top of a throne. So we have a local 81 Bay. It's a Oktoberfest, okay?
Nice.
Maybe dad or mom enjoy a good seasonal craft.
I like that.
So what we're gonna do is just pop the top.
And how important is it to be able to find, one, should you be using a 16 ounces? So the tall boys work
Sure.
well for this one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. I find that 24s are too big.
Okay.
And then you have to manipulate and crack the cage. You don't want to do that. The 16s make it just nice.
And then like a 12, you might not even be able to truly get support
Right.
for the chicken to sit on top of it.
You're correct. And then you're going to have a hard time getting that out of the cavity as well
Okay.
if it's a 12 ounce.
All right.
So
I
we're
think
going
it's
to place this one
Time to sit right on the throne right
on
there.
the throne. So remember the vegetables we cut earlier? So those are in place. We have our beautiful cast iron skillet. And on top, we are going
love
to
it.
set it right on the throne there.
I love it because while our chicken enjoys its time upon its throne, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Chef Leah Aquino's watermelon poke salad, and we're going to show you how to make it. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, ideas for dinner from great chefs, and we will show you how to make them. Today, we're making hot honey chicken upon a throne. While it cooks, we have a rather special side salad, also from Chef Leah Aquino, who's from the Birchwood family of brands. This looks beautiful, but we gotta eat it. So let's get going into it, my friend.
All right, so this is like kind of like a watermelon poke type of environment here.
Okay.
What we're gonna have are some simple ingredients. Sometimes you can just sub them out, depending on what is in your fridge, what's in the grocery, the pantry that day. There's certain reasons. Right here, I've got this beautiful watercress.
Nice.
So, you know, you could do this family style where you make a big bowl. You could just make one personal for you and my favorite chef, Jeff, right here.
We're having some fun today with this.
That's what we're doing.
I
All
dig
right.
it.
So a little bit of that crust down. Next up, this is actually sushi rice, which is beautiful. I like it because of certain reasons, the al dente of it, the stickiness, healthy reasons as well.
Okay.
The different reasons. You might have yellow rice in your pantry. You might have some different types of rice you might want to use.
Okay.
Which is awesome. And then it's rice. It doesn't really take that long to cook.
All right, perfect. So what's next then?
Next up, we're going to take the sushi vinegar, and we're going to actually dress this salad with this vinegar right here. And we want to make sure we hit all the rice if we can, which is beautiful.
Okay.
So that's almost like a sushi vinegar rice, which is great.
Okay.
All right, next up, we have some pickled radish.
Nice.
So like we said earlier, I don't like to throw anything away. This is actually pickled in the ginger you would get in your sushi.
Okay.
So I saved that juice and put in a little bit of radish there. So that really, I mean, ginger, radish, we're really taking
It's
it
just
home here.
coming in, and you could smell that right now too.
Yeah,
I dig
nice
it.
and pungent. And then on top of that, we're gonna add a little bit of watermelon cube here and there. Right now, watermelon isn't too bad. You can also season this ahead of time with a little salt and pepper to get the mouthfeel get going.
Totally.
And then I'm gonna add some sesame.
And now, is that for a little bit of crunch, just to bring a little bit of texture behind
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. A little bit of crunch, and then also a nutty effect as well.
Okay,
So
all
we
right.
like that for the nutty effect. And then in my pantry, always, I have wasabi peas.
Nice, I dig it, because the recipe for this watermelon poke salad, along with the hot honey chicken, and all of the recipes from our show are at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code just to get there.
Beautiful. Just adding a couple scallions on top there,
I love
just
it.
because they were ready in the fridge.
This looks like it needs a friend. Let's go ahead and get that chicken out. Oh, I can't wait. The smells of it I've just been going through. We've had this in the oven for how long?
It's been about a couple hours. Low and slow is what we want to do.
All right,
and
let's
we
bring
want
it
to
right
keep
out
opening
then.
it.
Oh, look at that. That looks beautiful.
All right, here's our friend right here.
And the beer in that. Like,
Oh, yes.
it's
Oh, this smells so good.
I love it. Let's get that dressing here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, and then remember our hot honey we made earlier today. Just be gluttonous. Have fun with it.
Just go right into
Yeah,
it, because
just be
while
gluttonous.
this chicken gets overthrown from their throne, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, it's taste testing time. I cannot wait to have this one.
Wow, there we go.
Look at that. That is beautiful. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, ideas for dinner that you can make at home tonight. Chef Lee Aquino has been sharing his recipe for hot honey chicken on a throne and a wonderful watermelon bouquet salad. We just got to go straight into this bad boy because this has been staring at me. I mean, look at this. This looks beautiful here.
It smells, you know.
Oh,
I love how we're being all proper, but there's a wing right here. I'm just gonna go for
dude,
it.
a little bit of that brining, a little bit of that roasting, all these flavors coming together.
Oh, love that.
Killer. The hot honey plays so nicely with it, and it brings a warmth behind it, but not an intimidation, which is absolutely what you want on a dish like this. And then you've got this beautiful, beautiful salad here, which has so many different flavors that I'm looking for. And now I'm tasting.
You got a lot of textures with that salad right there. The wasabi peas are the crunch, the sesame with a little bit of nut, the refreshing from the watermelon. It's really nice, like out back in your backyard. Maybe you want to do this, you know?
This is perfect for anyone who just wants to entertain and just have some fun, because that is how you turn an idea for dinner into a dinner dia. Scan the QR code to get the recipe and let us know if you make it for your dinner and how it turns out. I'm Jeff Bilden. See you next time for more Dinner Dias.